Alright, hello. Salted Pie. You might know me for some of my other stuff, but today I'm going to be talking about Rec Room stuff, I guess. This is, like, barely structured, by the way. I'm just going to be ranting a little bit. I got, like... I just have a few notes written down on what I essentially want to talk about, but I don't really have scripts. Scripts are really boring to read off of for me. I find it hard to read off of them, so let's just go on. Recent Rec Room updates have not been of the utmost quality. We've mostly been seeing bug fixes to things that don't really necessarily need bug fixes, and, like, pretty much changes that nobody's asked for. We've seen them abandon their anti-cheat and rely solely on their, like, house-made one, which is... it's hard to, like, essentially tell if it works at this point, because we haven't really seen it do anything. But, like, from the way they framed it, they essentially just got rid of the old anti-cheat and just, like, switched the new one on instantly, hoping it does something. I've heard from a lot of people. I've seen cases where there are hackers on Rec Room. Because I don't go into public servers a ton and play games, because I can't really find a ton of games that I enjoy on Rec Room at this point, I haven't really encountered that many hackers or cheaters. I know there's a lot of cases where people do, but, like, I guess we'll just have to wait and see where the anti-cheat goes. On that note, the anti-cheat has been framed as, like, essentially just easy anti-cheat, but without, like, the easy anti-cheat branding. They want it to be, like, specific for Rec Room, and have it, like, so it can solve Rec Room specific problems, stop cheaters who are abusing Rec Room specific issues. But, like, the thing is, from what I've seen from people, it can't even solve the issues that easy anti-cheat solved. It's freaking, like, crazy what's going on in the game, and, like, how much they're allowed to get away with. How much cheaters are allowed to get away with in the game. Moving on, we've been seeing a lot more cosmetic updates recently. No, everyone loves their cosmetics, let's go! But I think it was literally today, as I'm recording this, that we got, like, a new battle pass type thing. It's like, earn XP by spending time in public rooms. I think that's literally just their way to farm engagement. That's not, like, there's no quest to it, there's no objective. It's just spend time on our game to earn stuff. Which is fine in a majority of cases, but at this point, they've done this a few times where it's just, like, spend time in maps. But, like, there hasn't been an incentive. So I'm assuming this is their, like, realization that we are not getting people to spend time in maps in public servers. So we need to get people to do that in the most simple way possible. Let's just give them, like, frickin' awards if they do it. And also offer a premium model. A premium, like, battle pass. Because we can't have anything, like, for free at this point without there being, like, a premium alternative that offers more. It's so friggin' lame. Maker AI! You've seen Maker AI? Have you seen those videos on how it doesn't freaking work? And yeah, it doesn't work. I don't know why they're pushing this so hard. It doesn't work. Like, they're promoting it as, like, the alternative to essentially picking up the Maker Pen and learning how to use it. But also charging a cost for it. Like, charging a cost to use it. I don't know if the cost is going to be there forever. I don't know if there's going to be a price tag on it forever. I haven't really read into that. But at this point, I don't remember who I heard it from, but I heard someone say it was, like, they're trying to get it to be, like, an alternative to learning the Maker Pen, like an easier way to learn it. But, like, accessibility shouldn't be locked behind a paywall. Accessibility should be free. That's the point of accessibility. It's to make things easier to access and easier to learn. So what are we doing? Let me check my notes. I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't like where the game is going. I don't like what they're doing. I don't think a majority of people like what Rec Room's been going off and doing recently. And I feel like that's not really subjective. I feel like it's an objective thought to see that Rec Room has generally been going, like, downhill. I feel like that's a fairly generic thing to say. I shouldn't be the one saying that. If you agree with me, then friggin' whatever. That's cool. But like that's the general consensus among the community. That's not really like a subjective take. That's an objective take. Because like I feel like the only people that don't think that are like closely involved with the Rec Room team. And like at that point, you essentially see their roadmap, you see where they're going. So you probably have higher hopes than I do because you know what they're actually going for and what they're actually doing. But like from what I've seen, from what they've demonstrated they can do, I don't have high hopes. I'm not excited for where this game is going. I will probably take my leave whenever I feel is the right time to. I have no interest in staying with this game after a certain point. After they've demonstrated that they can't handle what the game essentially started as. They can't maintain their original creative values. If they can't maintain those, then I have no I don't have anything else I'm really looking forward to doing on Rec Room at that point. Because I feel like my Rec Room, my experience on Rec Room is over at that point. Yeah, really positive video this time. Yeah, I'm not happy with where this game is going. You can be happy with how everything's going. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion. I think your opinion's just as valid as mine. And yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching. Probably got more stuff coming eventually. Summer just started. Got a few plans. Got some vacations to look forward to, which is really cool. And yeah, I'll probably be back soon with something else. This one has been one I've been wanting to do for quite a bit at this point. And I know it's like literally just a rant, me raving about what I don't like about the game. But like, it feels good to tell other people how you're feeling. If that's like clear, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make it clear how I stand. And yeah, that's really it. Catch you later.